You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt. Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster. MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Let's stop acting like we don't see how this game is played. If you tired of folks throwing shade with a smile and keeping you boxed in with that slick behind-the-scenes racism, it's time to upgrade your survival skills. See, Phillip Scott dropped more than just knowledge. He handed you a playbook with passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy. This ain't the in-your-face kind. This is that sneaky, office space, let-me-block-your-blessings type of racism that'll have you questioning your own reality. It's time to call it what it is and arm yourself with the facts. But baby, don't stop at just peeping the system. Break those mental chains too. That's why you need 7 steps to decolonize the mind. This is about freeing yourself up top, walking in confidence, and letting the world know your mind is not for rent, lease, or layaway. It's time to reclaim your power step by step. So don't just watch, take action. Click over to Amazon.com, type in passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy and 7 steps to decolonize the mind, and secure both books for yourself, your crew, and anybody ready for that mental liberation. La Sherika said it, now go do it. Invest in your freedom. Pick up both books today on Amazon.com. Trust me, your mind will thank you.
After 13 years of exposing lies in the media, I discovered the biggest lie of all. They want you to think racism is random, accidental, just bad people doing bad things. But what if I told you anti-black racism was engineered, programmed like software, marketed like a product, and designed to survive across generations? That's exactly what I prove in my new book, Us versus the Machine, How Anti-Black Racism Was Programmed, Marketed, and Made to Survive. This isn't another book about what racism looks like. This is the blueprint of how it was built, who profits from it, and most importantly, how to dismantle it. I spent years connecting dots that they never wanted connected, following money trails that they thought were buried, exposing the machine that runs on our oppression. Knowledge is power, but strategic knowledge is liberation. Get Us versus the Machine on Amazon today, because once you understand the system, you can beat the system.
If you have not been tuning in before, my goodness, you've missed out on a lot. Broke boy, but with potential. What made you realize this soft life is for me?
I deserve it. Because main money is special. I'm single.
But you don't like to be alone now. I'm looking for a guy to break my heart.
Well, as long as they're Nigerians now.
Watch Slay Queen Nigeria, only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke.
We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff. No filters. Just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends and family that we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, you know, you can't depend on, what is that thing called? Notifications. You can't depend on that. Make sure also, we just put out our new book, Us versus the Machine. Make sure you pick it up. There's a link in that pinned comment, at least on YouTube, or you can just type in Us versus the Machine on Amazon. And it is, we have, like I say, the ebook, we have the paperback, we have the hardback cover, and all of that. So make sure you pick up our book. It would greatly appreciate it. We have committed to writing one book a year now. And I want to, you know, to give a shout out to the Jamaican sister. She's an elder for sure. That talked to me about the books. I was already in Ethiopia trying to wrap up some things, but the sister's like, hey, you need to put out more books, you know? And I said, you know what, sister, you right. So, you know, I enjoy talking with y'all because sometimes y'all be making me, you know, think about other things. Because y'all, I have like, my mind is like a highway. And so I'm going to say a high-speed highway. I have so much going on in my mind at the same time. So I get so caught up doing other things like, man, I need to go stop and do this, right? So tonight we're going to talk about the Democrats, a good old Democrat think tank, right? And so they are instructing the party to drop woke language. Well, what's that all of a sudden? Talking about woke, right? So we're going to get into that tonight and go through what they don't want or suggesting any kind of politicians that's going to run for office now to say. So the Democrats have caved to the Republicans and what they want to do, right? When something is your beliefs or your core beliefs, you know, you stick to it no matter what. Now, you may have to remix something just for the modern era, but your core beliefs is still your core beliefs. Like, for instance, that'd be like me saying, well, you know, okay, well, we're not going to talk about white supremacy and anti-black racism anymore. You know, we can't say those words. No, we're going to say it because that is something that's a reality and that's a core thing that we talk about. You don't throw that away because somebody else pops up on the scene or doing something different. But you have to understand they really didn't believe any of that. But it was buzzwords for them. That's why they can easily throw it away. So we're going to get into that, ladies and gentlemen. Also, over the weekend, I hope everything was good for y'all. I want to give a shout out to, something I rarely do. I think it was Aunt Bill's. I went to that restaurant in Houston. Soul food was pretty good. It definitely was pretty good. Check it out. That's for sure. I had what did I have? I had the vegan meatloaf and the rice and gravy, and I think they had the macaroni and yams. All that was good. They even had Kool-Aid. Something I ain't drunk in years. So I said, you know what? Let me try that out. You know, because I don't drink Kool-Aid. I don't drink none of that stuff. But it was good. It was definitely good. And on the back, they have like another menu in the back. Like if you want stuff like hot dogs or fries or any of that kind of stuff you want, you can get that. So yeah, it was packed too. It was definitely packed. Good restaurant, good service that I had at that restaurant with the family. So with that being said, thank everyone. Definitely thank you for downloading the ADNC app and keeping up with it. I was just talking to one of the brothers today that's on the team. He showed me like what the new app would possibly look like, and I said, "Oh, that looks good. I like that look." So we're trying to work on it, ladies and gentlemen. And if everybody here would buy a book, or everybody watching on Facebook would buy a book, that'll help us, definitely get us to get the upgrade a lot faster. Of all 327 people that's here, even though they not sending out the notifications, you know what I'm saying? They just not. I mean, it don't make sense. Like the notifications are not going out, but I don't know. We got to rock it like it is. All right, let's go ahead and get started, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started so it won't take much of your time. Also, we had a survey as well on the community tab in our post, whatever, I think on YouTube. And I want y'all to go over there after this and go take that survey. I'm gathering data, and I'm going to say 99% of y'all that's filled it out has been very helpful. You got one that's been on some hate. And I get that because I've gotten this person's email. They just, I get them kind of people sometimes. We get every blue moon, we get people that we can just tell they got something going on. And so I just don't even waste time with it, right? I just don't. I remember one time I had a individual, I literally had to block their email 5 times. I say, how do you keep emailing one person? Listen, if I don't like a person for whatever the reason, I just don't fool with them. I've always been that way. I say, okay, that's on them. I don't really like them. I'm sure they're not going to email you. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to do any of that. Because I got too much going on in my life. If we don't jail, we just don't jail for whatever the reason. And if you say, well, Phil, he's not really my cup of tea, that's fine. One girl may be your cup of tea. Please watch her. Demetra or whoever else may be your cup of tea. Yeah, Vicky, it may be your cup of tea. Yeah, so support them. Please do. You know what I'm saying? I want them to give support. I really do. But I'm gathering all that information. That way we can crunch it, look at it, implement some ideas. Some of y'all are bringing some good things, some things I didn't even know that y'all kind of pointing out. So I greatly appreciate that. Oh, also, I want to ask y'all, because y'all in the chat. So, I was thinking about changing changing the voice of LaSherica, because I got an idea what I want to change it to, but would y'all like the voice to be changed to a different voice or keep the one that's on there? Y'all let me know. Of course, the content won't change. The voice can always change, but the content will not change. I've been thinking about changing the voice because I've been getting some feedback about that, right? We have another one named Layla, and it has a distinct voice, and people really like that one. And when I initially released it on AfroWire AI, so let me know if y'all like the voice to change to something different, or keep it. I'm gonna let y'all let me know about that. All right. God is say don't change it. See, they don't want to change her voice. Hey, if enough people say, keep it, I'll leave it alone. It is what it is. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to what I need to get to tonight. I know y'all are busy people, and y'all are special people, and I need to go to this first article so y'all can understand where we're going to go with it. All right. Hold on. We got LaSherica got some fans, but some people don't like LaSherica at all. Boy, they complain about LaSherica. I'm like, you better get used to it in a way, because by 2030, from my research, AI journalism is going to be here more than what you know it. All right. Should Democrats avoid using woke words? Okay. So they say a center-left think tank says Democrats should stop using woke words like privilege, triggering, birthing person, and unhoused to appeal to more voters. Okay, what voters are you trying to appeal to? You mean the white voter? Y'all have to understand something, Democrats. You're trying to do everything else but reach the voter base that you should. And I just recently did a deep dive. Me and ChatGPT go back and forth all the time, because I have ideas and I say them, and then it kind of fills in the blank. So, you know what I'm saying? But I'll get into some of that conversation that I was right about. So it says, should Democrats abandon so-called woke language? It said that's what a memo from the center-left think tank Third Way suggests as a way to appeal to more voters. Title was Something I Said. The memo argues that elected Democrats don't sound like regular people anymore. Instead, they rely on therapy speak, organizer jargon, and seminar room language advanced by special interest groups. Third Way lists 45 words for Democrat politicians and activists to avoid, including privilege, triggering. Now, when you say privilege, Well, you talking about white privilege? What words? It's interesting you just said privilege. Okay, all that. Systems of oppression. Now, why people say systems of oppression? Now, this think tank is basically saying in a lot of words, stop saying words that's pointing out white supremacy. But we get to every word. They say, but if liberals give up this language, are they also giving up their values inclusion? Is language really the reason Democrats are failing to connect with voters, or this debate a distraction from bigger problems? That's the initial one I saw. But let me go to, okay, so this is third way. What's this something I said? Before we get into that, this is third way. This is who they are. We like to bring some edumacation here, much as possible, right? And those of you who are new, that is language that we'll say over here. We know what the word education is, but we say edumacation if we want to. Who are they? Third way is a national think tank. Okay, they are a national think tank. And see, black people, that's our problem. We need to have think tanks. And think tanks are, when they do have a meeting, they're not online talking. They're at events and they're talking policy and different things they want to do. Okay? It's an advocacy organization that champions moderate policy and political ideas. Our work on the center left acts as a critical bulwark against political extremism. Now, they say their approach, it brings together rigorous policy research, deep knowledge of the people and places that decide majorities, and sophisticated public opinion and messaging data to create strategic advocacy campaigns designed to persuade elected officials and influencers. That's interesting. And influencers. Now, that lets you know that the content creators are more powerful now and they having to admit it on the defining issues of our time. Third way, y'all haven't contacted me yet. Okay, I'm just saying. And say we advocate for the vital center across 7 pragmatic areas: climate and energy, economy, education, healthcare, national security, politics, and social policy. And say as passionate moderates or radical centrists, and say our work is about splitting the difference, and say, but also standing for a values-driven, reform-oriented politics that can both deliver electoral power and drive meaningful policy change. And say we believe in building an opportunity economy that rewards hard work, making progress on social issues to uphold our fundamental freedoms, winning the global clean energy technology race, and securing our safety against evolving 21st century threats. So they were founded in 2005, and they earned a reputation of innovative thinking and high-impact campaigns that shift the national debate, help moderates win elections, and motivate ambitious policy reform. So we've been lauded as the best source of new ideas in public policy, the future of think tanks, and North American Think Tank of the Year. All right. So they tell you what their work are. You see all of that. What they want to do. You see old Nancy Pelosi, the greatest insider trader of the century. That woman inside. How did Martha Stewart went to jail, but this woman haven't went to jail? That's just amazing to me. Like, it's nobody that win the stock market that much. Come on now. Anyway, so this is the team down here. You can kind of see all of them and see, well, that's one black woman there. It's like 95 people are part of them. There's another black man there out of this one. There's another, I guess, she looked like that last name, but she's of definitely like African descent. Let's see, none there. Another black woman right there, or 2 of them actually. So another brother right there. And, this guy is part of this organization. Oh, Lord, I know who this guy is. Okay. Some of them are just, that's supposed to be the team, ladies and gentlemen. That's their whole team. Now, I just wanted to have you an idea of who we talking about. Now, let's get back to the memo. Are y'all happy? We had the memo. Yeah, autopilot. Yeah, they follow all Nancy Pelosi's trades. So if you want to make money like Nancy Pelosi, get on autopilot and connect your Robinhood account or whatever to it, or whatever platform you're using, and whatever trade Nancy Pelosi making, you need to put at least $500 on that app. At least $500 on your Robinhood, and then they'll make your trades for you. Whatever she does, they'll do for you. So, yeah, if you want to get involved with what Nancy Pelosi's doing. All right. So Third Way said, was it something I said? All right. So it said, to all who wish to stop Donald Trump and MAGA. All right, from Third Way. For a party that spends billions of dollars trying to find the perfect language to connect to voters, Democrats and their allies use an awful lot of words and phrases no ordinary person will ever dream of saying. The intent of this language is to include, broaden, empathize, accept, and embrace. The effect of this language is to sound like the extreme, divisive, elitist, and obfuscatory enforcers of wokeness. Okay. To please the few, we have alienated the many. Boy, that sounds like some that's interesting what they just said. To please the few, we've alienated the many. Who is the many? Stop talking in code. One thing I respect about, hold on, let me get on camera about this. Hold on. You Democrats, where we at? One thing I respect about Trump, he just come out and say it. Just go ahead and say, well, to please the blacks and maybe some of the Latinos and the LGBT, whatever, we alienated white people. Just say it like that. Listen, I would respect you more if you said it like that. Just say it like, we're not dumb. Listen, the mainstream media is not going to take their time and read every line that you say, but we will. We will do it because we want our viewers to be informed how y'all really think. And when we was on y'all bumping, why we were saying, no, can't be Kamala Harris and the Democrats and the way they going right now. Oh, yeah, y'all just want Trump. It's not about Trump. It's about the Democrats cannot be rewarded with power and doing what they're doing to black people, especially what they were doing during the Biden administration, putting all these people from third world countries in the American cities and papering them up while black people are homeless on the freaking street. How are we supposed to go and reward that? How? Trump been doing a lot of craziness, but he haven't been doing that. Trump has been dropping them people off in American cities. He ain't been papering them up. He ain't been doing that. He been getting them out of here. But let's go. Listen, Trump doing a whole lot of things that a lot of people don't agree with, including myself. But he doing that right. And that just is what it is. Now, they said, especially on culture issues, where our language sounds superior, haughty, and arrogant. Oh, that's, boy, I tell you, y'all read the dog whistle in that. That sounds like white supremacy left wing. And say in reality, most Democrats do not run or govern or wildly out of touch social positions. But voters would be excused to believe we do because of the words that come out of our mouths. Words would sound like we are hiding behind unfamiliar phrases to mask extreme intent. Why the tortured language? Oh, Lord, tortured language. My Lord. After all, many Democrats are aware that the words and phrases we use can be profoundly alienating. Alienating to whom? Notice it. See, these people know what they're doing. But we already clocked you already. But they use it because plain, authentic language that voters understand also rebounds badly among many activists and advocacy organizations. These activists and advocates may take on noble causes, but in doing so, they often demand compliance with their preferred messages. This is how birthing person became a stand-in for mother or mom. And if we don't think more carefully about our language, many in America will be banking on help from Donald Trump and Republicans because Democratic levers of power will be few and far between. Let's say in this memo, we're putting a spotlight on the language we use that puts a wall between us and everyday people of all races, religions, and ethnicities. These are words that people simply do not say, yet they hear them from Democrats. Over the years, we've conducted, read, and analyzed hours upon hours of focus groups, and we've yet to hear a voter volunteer any of the phrases below except as a form of derision or parody of Democrats. We're not talking about techno-speak like net zero and climate resiliency. It said those words put up their own Ivy League walls between policymakers and voters. Here we are focusing on the eggshell dance of political correctness, which leaves the people we aim to reach cold or fearful of admonishment. Finally, we are not the police language. Finally, we are not out to police language, ban phrases, or create our own form of censorship. Y'all are the kings and queens of censorship. My Lord. Truth be told, we have published papers that have used some of these words as well, but when policymakers are public-facing, the language we must use must invite, not repel, start conversation, not end it, provide clarity, not confusion. All right. So they break this down into certain things. They said, therapy speak. These words say, I'm more empathetic than you, and you are callous to hurting others' feelings. So they don't want them to use the word privilege, violence, as environmental violence, dialoguing, okay, othering, triggering, microaggression, assault, or invalidation. So I guess if you talk about the microaggression, your candidates, Democrat candidates, can't be saying about microaggressions that happen in white supremacy, okay? I want y'all to listen to this. Progressive stack, I never heard that one. Centering, safe space. Well, yeah, the term safe space, I can agree with you on that. Holding space, body shaming, I may have to agree with y'all on that one too, because some of that was going a bit far. You know, it's like this. If the doctors and science say that obesity is a crisis and we should not be obese and we need to work on that, and as a society, don't say somebody's body shaming. No, sorry. I have to agree with them on that. It said, be aware of words proliferating in elite circles that have closed off open conversations and have made it uncomfortable for many people to engage in hard topics. Seminar room language. That's another one, y'all. This language says, I'm smarter and more concerned about important issues than you. Your kitchen table concerns are small. Okay. Subverting norms. Systems of oppression. Okay. That's seminar room language. Critical theory, cultural appropriation. So that's a dirty word for them now. Cultural appropriation, systems of oppression, privilege, microaggression, okay, invalidation, let me see. Postmodernism, Overton window, I never heard that one. Heuristic, let me see, it's existential threat to climate, the planet, democracy. Y'all said that too many. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. Y'all said this word more than anything else right here. Oh, he's a threat. Like, okay, like how many times you gonna say that? But for black people, systems of oppression, which we deal with, and we're speaking about cultural appropriation. Democrats, they don't want you using that. Okay, so when we use these words, people don't understand. Studies show that the part of their brain that signals distrust becomes more active, undermining our ability to reach them. Okay, so what is the Democrats here saying before we continue? The Democrats, you thought they learned their lesson from 2024? So the Democrats are basically saying we're going to double down even more on our anti-black racism. Democrats, the reason why you lost, because you did not prioritize black people. That's why you lost. And you're saying, well, we take on, and basically, if we listen to these activists and take on their language, then they want something. And we're not trying to give them nothing. So let's stop speaking like them. Y'all still think avoiding black people is going to work. Listen. I said this last night. I'm going to say it tonight again. The only reason why your party was so popular with a lot of people is because of us. And when we looked at your party as lame, don't do nothing for black people or nobody, and we said we're not going to vote for you, we're going to sit it out, guess what? Your party became lame. Your party is broken in 1,000 pieces. You can't put it back together. Why? Because when black people walk away, see, the advantage you had over the Republicans, you looked at more so as a moral authority because you had black people there. Right? Then you say, well, we signed the Civil Rights Act and all. But when the moral compass of America walk away from you, and the reason why the moral compass walked away from you is because you ignored them and never gave them anything in modern times that we could say that's tangible. Every time we say we need a tangible, we need this and that and the third, it's wait, well, get us in there, we'll do something, and you lie. Then the stick that broke the camel's back while Trump is in office, you're supposed to be a think tank, but y'all a group of idiots. That's why people don't respect your Ivy League education. You got all this education, you're dumb. You Democrats put all them people from the third world in places like Chicago, okay, New York, all these places. Your Democrat politicians kept papering them up in black people's face. And you think black people gonna say, you know what? I'm going to vote for more of that because Trump's a threat. A lot of black people sat it out. They didn't vote for Trump. They sat it out. Now, a few more voted for Trump this time, but the statistics show black people sat out the election. They didn't vote for Trump. So you can't even say Trump won the election because black people voted. No. If anything, you should be talking to the Asians and Hispanics, all the other ones that voted for Trump. But you're doubling down on not doing nothing for black people. I want black people to see what they talk about in their think tanks. And what come out of their think tanks is what your Jasmine Crockett's and the rest of them going to start doing. I tell y'all, they have always had this. They always try to say, oh, the Republicans are racist. The Republicans, you're more racist. You're more. Because you sit up here and take people from these third world countries, put them in our American cities, and paper them up. Say Americans don't want to work. No, Americans don't want to work for no cheap labor. Something coming out by that Hyundai plant that just got busted. They said they were paying people in there those hard jobs. They had to work 12 hours a day, 6-7 days a week, and some of them guys in there working for $7 an hour. Ain't no way that you gonna have somebody working 12 hours an hour. 12 hours working, paying $7.25 an hour. No way an American gonna even can live off of that crap. The immigrants can do it because when you have freaking 5-6 families living in a house and they all working the same amount of money an hour, that's how they live. Americans don't live like that. So we got to have more money. Oh, Americans don't want to work. I haven't met one American that didn't want a job that paid good, had good benefits, was a good situation. I ain't met one. They don't want no low-paying job. That's what that is. So Democrats are still on this crap. And that language, I was keen in on language about what we say and what we tell you. So black people, they don't have no priorities for you. This is coming out their think tank. This is not Phil making it up. Because we got these Democrat shields coming out, oh, Phil said this and Boulay Martin and all that. No. You go tell Boulay Martin, nah, Negro. I saw what the think tank said. I saw it. He ain't make that up. Now, Boulay Martin won't talk about this. He crying about why he can't get more money right now. Him and Al Sharpton. But let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, I'm gonna put this silent so nobody bother me. All right, let's get this going. All right, where we at? Boom. Organizer jargon. These words say we are beholden to groups, not individuals. People have no agency. All right. Radical transparency. What's wrong with radical transparency? Small d democracy. Okay. Barriers to participation. Stakeholders. The unhoused. The unhoused would be homeless people. Why would you change that terminology? Food insecurity. What's wrong with saying that people not eating? Housing insecurity, not having enough homes for people. What's wrong with saying that? Person who immigrated. Now, I say Democrats can fight for the poor, the hungry, the homeless, and immigrants more effectively if they speak in everyday language and in the language of those most affected by these issues, okay? Gender orientation correctness. These say your views on traditional genders and gender roles are at best quaint. Birthing person, inseminated person. Yeah, that didn't hit too well. Pregnant people. Okay. Chest feeding, cisgender, dead naming. heteronormative, patriarchy, LGBTQIA+. What are you going to call them then? I'm trying to figure that out. Standing up to MAGA's cruel attacks on gay and transgender people requires creating empathy and building a broad coalition, not confusing or shaming people who could otherwise be allies. Okay. Yeah, now some of those terms I didn't understand that, like this one here, the dead naming thing. And that's basically like if a person's is transitioned to something else and you call them by their birth name, then they say that's dead naming, but the person's alive. So, okay, all right. So we don't say breastfeeding, we say chest feeding. Okay, all right. Now, the shifting language of racial constructs. These words signal that talking about race is even more of a minefield. It's a minefield. This is what the Democrat think tank says about race in America. You will be called out as racist if you do not use the latest and correct terminology. Latinx. I never understood that one, be honest with you, and most Latinos don't even like it. BIPOC. Black, Indigenous, people of color. I never understood that either. I don't like those. I never liked the BIPOC term myself. Allyship, intersectionality, minoritized communities. You know, I don't like the word minority. I'm just talking about me personally. I never agree with the word minority. And intersectionality, there's no such thing as intersectionality because no other group deals with what we deal with, and neither do they want to be us or anything. So there's nothing intersections at all. That's what I've always said. And I say, as we fight racism and discrimination, y'all don't fight racism and discrimination. Y'all embrace it. And so we should reflect upon whether the words we are using are part of the reason Democrats are losing support from all non-white voters groups. We must know, I'm going to take a step back and listen. Instead of prepping our websites, fundraising asks, and newsletters with sociology buzzwords. Okay. All right, now let me get back on the screen here for a minute before we get to the end of that. The reason why you've lost black people, I can't speak of other groups. I'm not part of their group. The reason why you lost black people is because you lied. You lied. When Joe Biden got in office, they said, "Hey, get us in office. We'll try to get the George Floyd Justice Policing Act done, and we'll do this and you didn't get it done. You lied." You oh, well, we can't negotiate with the Republicans on this. Oh, well, we tried. Well, Tim Scott, oh, we can't, the stuff with Tim Scott this, Tim Scott that. You try to put it all on Tim Scott. You didn't get it done. You can blame Tim Scott all you want. You didn't get it done. So you lied. Black folks came out to vote around that time because they said, hey, man, we saw this mess happen to George Floyd. We need a bill. And you lied about it. Black folks are done with the Democrats lying. And I know some of you Democrats here, well, you want Trump? At least Trump, no, I don't want him, but at least Trump's up front. He's up front with whatever he say. He's up pretty up front with it. He don't dog wheel, so he screams. You kind of know what he's thinking a little bit. And that's okay for me. I'd rather see my enemy coming than one slithering like a snake. And the Democrats have been a snake the whole time to black folk. Give me the fox. Don't give me don't give me a snake. At least a fox is kind of sneaky too, but at least you'll see him coming. A snake is quiet, slithery. By the time it bites you falling out. The Democrats have played games with us. The boule. Y'all got these fraternity sorority black folk running around here talking about that they are representation. I just seen a picture of Jasmine Crockett and two of them fraternity dudes. They all throwing up their gang signs. They look like a gang sign to me. Yeah, I said they look like a gang sign. Why y'all throwing up signs for? And what your fraternity and sorority has done for the black community. It just seems like y'all fraternity and sororities just get in position with the Democrats or whatever y'all get in position of doing. And y'all enrich yourself, but you don't do nothing for black people as a whole. I'm sorry, you don't. Social clubs is okay, but in our community, we need to do something for the people. And you part of those groups, sorry, it is what it is. I've said it to people to their face, what I'm telling you. That's been in those groups. And they say, you know what? I have to agree with you on some of that. Some of us, some of my our brother fraternity brothers, yeah, some of us do be kind of raccooning it up. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah, because I'm like, you so more dedicated to your fraternity or sorority than you dedicated to your people. And listen, I never forget this woman. Her husband, he was talking about them sorority. I don't know if she was a Delta, AKA one. I think she was a Delta. Boy, she got so angry for him talking about that sorority. I mean, you should see the hate in her eyes for him saying, and like, and she just looked at him. He was talking to me at the time about it. And boy, she just got so angry. She was like, I told you stop talking like that. And then I'm like, but she just got angry with him, started going off on him. You were thinking that he was saying something bad about their kids to me or something that he should be telling me about, their personal life. No. Her sorority. I'm like this. If your sorority is more important than your husband or your people, then that's an idol god to you. It's an idol god. It's just a social club. Sorry, it's a social club. No different than somebody go join the March of Dimes or something. It's something you go do. My thing is, you fraternity and sorority Negroes, y'all doing all these gang signs you're doing, and you do nothing for black people, but all y'all enriched. Notice that the majority of your Congress people, that's Democrat, fraternity, sorority, every single time you see them throw up them signs. I'm like, my God, do they go recruit them? You must have to go through those fraternities and sororities to get to certain levels because they know you're brainwashed enough to be complicit in white supremacy and to sell out your own people. You must have to, because that seems like that's the theme. See, I'm not beholden to no groups like that, so I can say that. Like I said, a lot of people don't rock with me in this country anyway. I get more love in Africa anyway, so I say it. I'm not trying to get next to none of you. Now, the brothers and sisters in the grassroots in America love me, but them people, they can't stand me, and I like that. You should never have love from them kind of people. The Boule Martin crowd, they shouldn't love you. If they love you, you got a problem. Now, let's go ahead and continue here. Explain away crime, ladies and gentlemen. This says a criminal is the victim is an afterthought. Justice involves incarceration, incarcerated people, involuntary confinement. Okay, well, has nothing to do with crime. There are people who are, Black Americans in particular, who are overly incarcerated. We lead with exonerations in this country. Clearly, black people are locked up, solitary confinement and all this stuff for simple, things which they say that no human being should be in solitary as long as they throw you in there. Say people deserve to feel safe where they live, work, and go to school. And we can't defend the progress we made on criminal justice reform. You didn't do crap. Shut up. The only person that actually did something toward criminal justice reform was President Trump. I have to give him that. The First Step Act got a lot of black folks home. Biden didn't do crap. I hope to make more unless we acknowledge that reality in plain terms. So the conclusion. Some will take issue with the inclusion of words or phrases we ask Democrats to avoid when talking to the public. And to reiterate, we have used some of these phrases in our own writings in the past. Before you draft your angry tweet thread, Think about conversations with persuadable voters in your own life, especially friends, family, and coworkers, and consider whether the use of the language above would help or hurt your case. Recognize that much of the language above is a red flag for a sizable segment of the American public. They say it is not because they are bigots, but because they fear cancellation, doxing, and trouble with HR if they make a mistake. Oh, what you mean, like calling somebody the N-word? That's really when they get in trouble. They don't get in trouble for quote unquote dead naming. They don't get in trouble for any of that, or saying or not calling somebody the right gender. They don't lose their job for that. They only get called bigots and canceled and people dox them, in trouble with HR if they're saying something anti-black racist. Let's call it what it is. So basically what you're saying is it's not because they are bigots. So see, this that coded language that Democrats use. I told you Democrats are freaking racist too, but you always want to put it on the Republicans. Both of them are racist. Or they simply don't understand what these terms mean and become distrustful of those who use them. So instead they keep quiet. They don't join the conversation. They leave it. We will never abandon our values. Yes, you have to abandon them, or stop doing things to protect those who need help, encouragement, trust, a second chance, acceptance, a fair shake, an opportunity to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. But as the catastrophe of Trump 2.0 has shown, the most important thing we can do for these people and causes is to build a bigger army to fight them, communicating in authentic ways that welcome rather than drive voters away will be a good start. All right, third way. All right. So we read through your whole article and everything that or memo that you sent into the Democrat politicians. Well, seems like you're going to have a difficult time next year in the midterms. Yeah. Basically, that was a memo to try to get the white vote. Democrats always do that. They always chasing the white vote. And yet they lose the guarantee vote that they had. See, the white vote has never been a guarantee for any political party. White people's votes have always been split. Some elections they may vote for Republican, some elections they may vote for more for Democrat. But their votes have always been split. They never had a block vote. Asians, split vote. Hispanics, split vote. All been split. We are the only group of people that have voted in a block for one party. And they have messed that up. So Democrats, you could try to say, let's change the language to get this white vote back. Well, here's the problem with the white vote. White voters see you as elites. They see you as the college elite, the Ivy League elite, and they don't relate to you either. You raised $1 billion for Kamala Harris campaign. Let's think about that. You tried to put Trump in jail. Like y'all don't know why people vote. It's like, are y'all using drugs or something? I'm trying to figure that out. The reason why some people voted for Trump, because y'all was doing too much. Y'all were waging lawfare, and people kept seeing it, and y'all made Trump look like a victim. Y'all did that. You Democrats did that in New York. Y'all had him raided at Mar-a-Lago. Y'all made him look like a victim. Then the person that tried to take an attempt on his life, then the other person that tried to take an attempt on his life. Y'all don't forget how y'all literally made Trump a victim. Like y'all forgot that? Y'all forgot the picture where he had his fist up with the blood coming down? Like y'all forgot any of that? And most people like, oh man, Trump was like a G with that, man. Like y'all, have y'all forgot? I didn't forget. The videos out there, all the cases y'all kept putting on him. Y'all made the man look like he was being attacked by y'all. So Democrats, it's your fault. And you didn't do nothing for black people. It's your fault. Why don't you accept responsibility for Trump? You did that. You did it. No voters told you to do all that lawfare in Atlanta and New York and all the stuff y'all was doing. Y'all putting all kind of cases on Trump. I guess y'all forgot that. Got the man with mug shots and all kind of other things y'all was trying to do to stop him from winning the election. That's why people didn't want to vote for you, you idiots. I hate to say that word, but you're just idiots. But you got your little Ivy League degrees and think you're smart. You're not smart. You ever heard that statement? I've met some highly educated people, but they didn't have a lick of common sense. That's them. That's them. They don't have no common sense, but they can pass a test. They can write an essay, but they have no common sense. I'll tell you all day long. Give me that brother or sister with a PhD in common sense any day than someone that got a PhD from one of these institutions. Phil, are you against education? No, not at all. I'm not against education. I thoroughly believe in education. But I don't believe in education when it becomes your identity. I don't believe in education when you look down on people because of it. Like, oh, I got this degree and you don't have it and I'm better. And you know what I'm saying? I'm in this fraternity or sorority. Ugh, look at you lowly black folks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No. I'm going to be the one to hurt your feelings every time to humble you. Yes, I'm going to be the guy to humble you and let you know that, okay, you took test. Bravo. You got a piece of paper to say you mastered test. Why is it that when you go on the job, they tell you, throw away everything you learned in that school because we got to teach you this way? Why do you think they tell you that? Because they never really prepare you for the real world. You got to actually have experience on any profession you start. Why do you think doctors go through residency for? Yes, they are doctors, but why do they got to go through residency? Because they got to teach them real world application. Oh, they pass the test, but you got to know real world application. And it takes time to learn that. Of course, you want them to know too. You don't want them to just come out of school and don't know what they're doing. So that's why they put them through all that residency. That's why they work so much. On-the-job training is king. Yes, the paper may prove you got certain knowledge. Yeah, great. But on-the-job training is always going to be where it's at. And that's a reality. But like I said, I believe in education. I really do. You know, I believe in, I've always kept my little girl in black private schools. Why? Because I want her to have a better education. Because education is very important. But education is not identity. Dr. King wanted us to have education. Sure. We definitely need education. We can't have ignorance. And education, even if you don't go to college, you can learn something every day. You can read books. You can go to AI and learn something. I'm always asking for certain statistics, studies, whatever. I'm always trying to learn something. That's education. Education should be every day, not just because you went to a school. Every day you need to learn something. Read books, study, watch documentaries, do something to educate yourself. You know, you can buy my book. That'll help educate you on anti-black racism. Us versus the Machine. Get it now on Amazon. That's part of education, right? So no, I'm not against education. Not by a long shot. I'm just against it's your identity and your fraternity and sorority is your identity. And now you get in certain positions where you can help black people, but you don't. You are no different than Stephen from the plantation on Django. Stephen had a position too. He managed Calvin Candy's plantation. And he couldn't stand black folk more than Calvin did. Remember that scene in Django when he showed up? He couldn't stand Django. He was upset when he said he could put him in the house. He was more mad about it. That's what these boulets are. And that's why you hear me talk about them a lot. I know they are the Stevens. I know. Because they do nothing for black people. None of them. All they want to do is get money from the Democrats. See, right now, Trump cut all their money off right now. Oh, Trump cut it all off. Everybody got cut off. And they crying. They want the Democrats in there. Boulay Martin, Al Sharpton. They want Democrats because they get a bag when they in office. They get a bag. I'm liking what Trump doing. Trump cut all their money off. I like that from Trump. I'll give him that. Things I don't like from Trump, I'll say it. Just that simple. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I just, you know, I get fired up on that topic about that elite section that ain't worth a piece of poopy toilet paper to me. It's not. They do nothing for black people. Nothing. That Congressional Black Caucus, they do nothing for black people. Nothing. They don't stand on reparations. They don't say we abstaining from voting for this and that and the third. Go look at their voting record. You can go look it up. They vote for everything for everybody else, but they never stand up for us. They're supposed to be our best and brightest, right? And if they not black American, they immigrants. And immigrants stand with immigrants. They don't advocate for us, but why should they advocate? That's also, I'll say something else. Why should a black immigrant advocate that's in Congress for black America? Why should they? They look over and see black American politicians as part of the lineage don't advocate for us either. So why should they feel obligated to do something? I always say that. You know, we get at them sometime, well, black immigrants don't do that. Like, wait. What pressure is on them to do something? Where's the pressure? Jasmine Crockett not putting no pressure on nobody. Al Green, he's not putting pressure on nobody to do something for black America. He worried more about impeaching Trump than fighting for reparations. Shoot. Yeah, they to me, they ain't worth a drop of urine. Just bottom line. They not. And I'll say that, and I'll say that I'm saying that because of what you have not done for black people, and you've been in position for years. What has Maxine Waters done for black people? What has she actually done? I'm not talking about she's done things for black individuals in the past, because all of them have. I'm talking about for the people. What have you done? What have you done? Why Maxine Waters wasn't up there when California was voting about trying to get the situation going with the office to be created for who would get reparations? She should have been up there fighting for the people. That's when people know you for the people, but you're not. You see all your constituents want reparations, then you got to be up there with them. But when ICE show up, she out there fussing at ICE. That's her priority. Immigrants, illegal immigrants, not legal immigrants, not illegal immigrants. Legal immigrants are okay. Illegal immigrants is the ones that she's fighting for. They go into to the prison and where they holding them at to go make sure they treated okay. But they don't go to no federal prison to go make sure black American men and women are treated okay there. They don't show up there, do they? They have every right to show up to federal prison if they want. They don't go check on them. They go check on people that don't even belong here. That's the ones they go check up on. So, man, forget them Congressional Black Caucus. Anyway, thank y'all for watching the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. That's very, very important. Follow us also on Facebook and X and anywhere else. Download the ADNC app. It's very important. Make sure you go ahead and check LaSherica out. She'll be coming up in a minute on AfroWire AI. So make sure you check that out. Thank y'all for listening. We'll catch y'all on the next one.